Hey everybody, welcome. This is Joe McCall, the Real Estate Investing Mastery Podcast, and I'm here with my good friend and business partner, Peter Vekselman. How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Thanks, Joe.
Listen, this is part of the Brilliant at the Basics podcast series that I'm doing with Peter. Peter and I have been working for over a year, maybe about a year and a half now, and we wrote a really awesome book, in our humble opinion, called Being Brilliant at the Basics. And this podcast series we're creating to kind of teach people how to do this business, teach people and remind people as best we can how to keep it simple. That this business really, you can be very successful. You can make a lot of money by just keeping things simple and remembering the basics. So if you want to get a copy of this book, go to freebasicbook.com. freebasicbook.com. We will ship the book out to you. You only have to pay shipping and handling. We'll ship the book to you. You get some videos that we created that you can't get anywhere else, that we created while we were writing this book. And I'm also throwing in an extra bonus that not really even talk much about anymore, but it's a book that I wrote about a year ago called Flipping Homes While on Vacation. And it's a really cool book, but you get that as an extra bonus. Now, part of the reason why we're doing this also is Peter and I, we'll talk about this more as we go into this, but we have a program where we partner with students all over the country and basically duplicate our business model with them. We set up their systems, we do all their marketing. It's pretty amazing. We're just taking the basic, simple stuff that we are doing and talking about in this podcast, and we duplicate it and replicate it in other people's businesses. We're starting to see some tremendous success from people all over the country doing this. So go to freebasicbook.com to get the book, and we'll talk about at the end how you can work with Peter and I one-on-one. But Peter, we were talking before we started recording here. If you were to start this business all over again, you were to start from scratch, you didn't have anything, and you were to do this business again and start up, what would you do to make your first, let's keep it real simple, your first $3,000, let's say. What would you do to start making money and to make your first $3,000?
Well, the funny thing is that's kind of how I started.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm one of the, people say I started with nothing. I actually started with something in this business, and then I lost it all. Yeah. So I got to zero, not in the beginning. I used this business in the beginning to get to zero, just by making mistakes, like we all do. But look, here's the bottom line. If you have nothing and if you don't have a ton of knowledge in this business, the great thing about this business is that this business gives you the ability to control real estate with nothing but paperwork. I mean, what other industry can you get into? What other products can you do where you literally have the ability to take control of products and not really have money into them? This business allows you to do that. So one of two things. If I had a little bit of money, just maybe a couple grand here and there, there's no question I would put it into direct mail. Wherever I'm at, wherever I live, whatever part of country I'm in, I would simply put some money into some direct mail campaigns, and I would just blast it out to non-owner occupied people. And guess what? No matter what comes back in, I'm locking it up. I'm putting it under contract. I want to have some inventory, because that inventory not only puts me in a position to make money, it also puts me in a position to create a business. Now, if I had no money, guess what? There's plenty of inventory out there floating around. I would, hit areas like Craigslist, Backpage, eBay Classifieds, Postlets, any website that has for sale by owners, and I would find some inventory. Now, here's the thing: like if you go to Craigslist, very quickly you could tell who's posting the ads. Are they somebody with a lot of clout, a lot of basically deals that are going on, or is it just some maybe one-off person? In this case, I'd go to the one-off person, okay? Because chances are, if you connect with somebody that just got started in this business, they just got one deal, they themselves aren't doing too much with this. They're not exposing it to the whole world. So I'd kind of find an ad that doesn't look too professionally set up. I'd find an ad that's not being run 100 times over. I'd find an ad that just kind of, it almost looks and feels like this guy just came out of seminar and he was lucky enough to find a deal. So I'd call that guy, I'd connect with him, and I just cut a deal with him. And and guess what? I'd confirm exactly what I just said. I'll just tell him, look, I'm kind of new. I'm looking at your ad. Nothing personal. Looks like you and I are both new. I'd make sure I'm working with someone new because, again, the key is you want to get some kind of inventory that is not getting a ton of exposure like the big-time wholesalers can get. I'd connect with him and I'd tell him, look, I want to help you move this property. I want to do what I can from my end to get this thing exposed, and then you and I can split profits. Guess what? Anyone new in this business will take that deal because like me, who's brand new, they are brand new. They want to get something coming in, whatever it is. Okay, so I'd cut a deal, maybe a profit split. I'd do some kind of a quick email exchange between him and myself to kind of put a little three sentence agreement together that we're going to split the profits. And then guess what? I do exactly what he's doing, but I do a ton more of it. I get this property exposed to the world. So he ran that one Craigslist ad because he's not thinking beyond that. I'm running 5 or 4 different types of Craigslist ads every day. I'm using different websites. I'm using Meetups. I'm using LinkedIn's. I'm using Facebook. I'm using the eBase that he's not using. I'm using Postlets that he's not using. Backpage. I'm immediately making flyers of it. I'm hitting all the RIA clubs, the local RIAs, the regional RIAs. I'm connecting with people. Remember, at the same time I'm getting feedback on this property, I'm also building future investor database for the next deals.
One more thing too is you could be putting signs in the neighborhood. The signs
that was my next thing. Yeah. If this is hopefully not an owner occupied property. Hopefully most of us go after properties that are either abandoned or owners don't live there. I'm putting signs around the property. I'm putting 3 or 4 signs, homemade signs, right? The kind of that I'm getting from Walmart. I'm putting it right in the yard. I'm maybe putting some directional signs, again, all homemade. Basically, I'm doing guerrilla marketing as much as possible. I'm exposing this deal to the whole world. I'm building out my investor database. As people are interested, I'm telling them, since we got a contract, we got control of it, I'm not worried about losing it. I'm trying to send as many people into this deal as possible. I'm always finding out from these people that are calling me what steps they have to go through to close the deal. This way I have a file and a piece of paper on every single person I'm sending there, and I'm finding out, hey, did your money guy see it? Did your construction guy see it? And all this. And I'm just basically driving 3, 4, 5, 10 other guys through the process to get the deal done. Hopefully the sheer numbers take over and somebody, at that point somebody does the deal. The good thing is when you're flipping a deal, hopefully you're working with a fairly sophisticated or somebody that's done this before. So guess what? They got the back end taken care of. They got the paperwork. It might be an assignment. It might have to go through double close. They probably have a title company set up already or an attorney. So all those details that I, as a brand new person, don't have, I don't need to worry about because the back end investor usually has them. So that's how I'm doing it. Hopefully flipping in the next couple of weeks, making some money, and then I use this deal to also build my infrastructure for the next deal.
Yeah, that's really, really good. And so basically, you're talking about, just so I can summarize, keeping it real simple, and you're big on this, Peter. Network. I mean, it's all about. The phrase is your network determines your net worth, and it's about who you know. And you don't look at other wholesalers as competition. You look at them as potential partners in this business, and that's so important to remember. So, just so I'm clear, if you're getting started or telling this to somebody who's just getting started, go out and find another investor who's got a deal that they're advertising. Try to look for the investor that maybe is new to the business. They're not professional. They don't have a huge operation. Find somebody who's advertising some deals and talk to them, and then go out and find buyers for those deals. Do networking, and you can probably, there's some simple ways to enter in some kind of JV agreement, joint venture agreement, or maybe get the property under an option or something like that. And you're not going out, are you advertising the property at a higher price than what that investor was advertising it for?
No, I'm in perfect case scenario, he and I are just doing a profit split.
Yeah.
So I don't want one property advertised at $1 and I'm advertising at $1.20. That makes it a little bit tougher. I mean, obviously not only because it can get confusing in the marketplace. I want to have the best chance of success. Best chance of success, let me sell it at $1. Let me get the first deal behind me. Let me build my network. Let me get some credibility. So I'm doing profit splits.
You're doing profit splits, and so the cool thing about what you're doing, though, is you're not. This isn't just for this deal. You're building your buyers list, and you're expanding your network to find out who else you could sell future deals to. It's a great way to get started for sure. Great way to get started. Well, guys, listen. We're going to keep these podcasts short. Okay, you can get more information about everything we've been talking about in this great book. I blocked my face with it. Brilliant at the Basics. You can get it at freebasicbook.com. freebasicbook.com. And listen, if you want to start working right now with Peter and me, take your business to the next level, work with somebody who can create your systems, get your marketing going, so you can just focus on talking to sellers and making offers, you need to work with me and Peter. We've been doing this for over a year and a half. We've got tons of successful students right now doing deals all over the country. They're not actually students. We consider them partners. So if you want more information about that, just go to peterandjoe.com. peterandjoe.com. There's a video there that explains more about what we do. There's a detailed explanation of what we do and how we do it. And then you can apply right there. And if we feel like you're a good fit, we'll get on the phone with you and talk with you, and we'll actually start working together. Okay? So peterandjoe.com if you want more information on that. Listen, on the next episode that we're going to do for the Brilliant at the Basics series, I'm going to be answering the same question. I'm going to be talking about what I would do if I were to get started, and it's probably going to be better than what Peter had to say. I'm just kidding. So we'll talk soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.